Hello, ladies and Trexlight. Welcome back to DC Universe Online. This is we're going to be talking about the one of the alerts. It's the hard alert called Ace Chemicals. I am playing my character. Actually, well, my main guy that I love playing. My first level 30. He is Black Ember. He is a fire immolation tank. I love the immolation tree. It's great fire tanking. I'm going to try the ignition probably sometime. But I found a spec that I'm actually really enjoying, that I'm going to try out, that I saw people really like it, and one guy really likes it, and it mainly deals with boosting my health. Right now I'm actually stacking defense and toughness, which that's what I wanted to go with, was defense and toughness and then health, but my health is like maybe 2100, and that's kind of low in my opinion for where I am. But I don't have any really epics either, so that's me. I increased the speed to the for the trash for 175% just to clear them a little bit faster, but on the bosses I'll actually be slowing it down where you can get a full grip of what's actually going on with the bosses. I'll try to explain as much as possible. Unlike WoW, these guys really don't have a call out a name for what these attacks are, and I don't feel like looking through the combat logs, but if I actually get a chance to, I might try it, but hell, I don't want to touch that chat box as much as possible. But as you see, we're just clearing some trash. I got myself a little a nice DPSer. I got a sorcerer, and I believe I actually hit my controller is gadgets, but I might be mistaken. I really didn't pay attention to the rest of my party because they knew what they were doing. But this is my second time run through, and one thing I actually want to point out, and that I did not know this about Ace Chemical, is that there are actually multiple sub bosses in this dungeon. You're not going to get the same. You might not get the same bosses all the time. I know when I ran this, I actually got 2 new bosses that I never knew about. But there's Tio Maru. There's the last boss, Chemo, which will be activated after you defeat the last 2 bosses. When you come in here to the control room, it'll automatically start a little sequence where we have to defeat Maru's security. Over here on the quest case journals, you'll actually see it, and I'm an idiot trying to think, oh, it's down here, but no, it's actually still in the same room. So, but you have 5 waves of security squads that are going to come out. It's really hard to kind of grab aggro, but luckily with the immolation tree, I can just do an inflame and then flashpoint, and that AoE just grabs everybody for me, because I guess that's my taunt. But the taunt mechanic is still I'm still trying to understand it. How I'm actually holding these people, I really don't know. It's like I have to spam and flame every time it's off cooldown. But also note, without a controller, you have no mana. You have no power battery. You're gonna spin power like non-stop, defeating these waves and defeating these bosses. But if you don't have a controller that's able to regen your power fast enough, you're gonna find that you're gonna wipe on bosses a lot more, and it gets annoying. It's like, how do you defeat a boss without a controller, without someone actually helping you have more power? Because healers go through power like nothing, and it's insane. But I digress, because I had to go through an alert today, and we wiped on one boss 10 times, and until we finally got that 11th time, and we were just like, I just really put my foot down. It's like, look, everybody else take care of themselves. I'm just going to focus on this boss. DPS, do your job. No controller, 2 DPS. I don't even know what their specs were, but alright, after you go through the security waves, after all 5, you'll have a little chemoid or whatever. Oh yes, I died, but luckily, actually, they waited too long to res me, so I had to flee and come back. But after each wave, you're gonna fight a little chemoid. Whether or not those are random or not, so far I haven't seen any random from them. That's the second time I've actually went against them, and the second time I've been to this instance or alert. I'm just gonna keep calling it an instance because I'm used to it. That's how I roll. All right, so we're gonna come down here. More trash. The trash are pretty large. They're just different experiments and guard dogs and ace security guards and whatnot. The guys in the yellow, the experiments 087s or whatever, I can't really read it because I'm actually having to do this recorded. This isn't a live because my girlfriend was asleep and I was trying to be nice, but apparently she yelled at me, just like, you could have recorded, you could just shut the door, blah blah blah, whatever. And she's not here, that's why I'm talking smack, so deal with that. She's gonna kill me if she finds out. Hopefully she doesn't watch these videos, so I'm all happy. But take out the large experiments with the yellow things. They do a large. Their deathly charge or whatever is more or less a charge, and then the ground slam that knocks everybody back, and it's just that's annoying just trying to get through that. But we're actually heading up to the first boss. These little grates that you see on the ground here, as you can see that fire just pop up. That's actually, if you stand on it while that fire is coming up, that'll give you a bad dot that gives you more. That pretty much lowers your health even more because that's a dot that's affecting you. Oh, someone actually died. I think that was actually, yep, that was just a DPS, but we can let him die. But whatever. Well, he'll come back to us. I mean, the trash is pretty simple as long as you have the healer that's on job, and if your healer's on top of it, go for it. Just go to town. But you'll sometimes get little DPS that just go crazy, and they still go crazy and just go kill anything that they want. Now, like I said, different times you're going to go through this, but I'm going to talk about the investigations and briefings a little later. Right now, this is our first boss, the sludge thing. This is we actually wiped on it the first time because, oh, that was my ring. Alright, we actually wiped on this on the first time, but I'm still going to let it go play through at normal speed. We wiped because I went through here and started it, and our healer is on the other side of the gate. So the gate does shut, so everybody needs to be inside. Because I went through this whole entire fight healing myself, and that's the grand glory of being an immolation tank. Thank you, reignition, and stoke flames and fiery weapons. Thank you. But that I had to heal myself the entire time, and I'm like, man, why am I not getting any heals? And all of a sudden, I just realized that there is no healer. Because he even says it's like, oh, I'm locked out. I'm like, crap. So the white, yep, he's right there, right outside the gate. So he dropped a soul well that was actually apparently healing me a little bit, because I did look at the numbers a little later, and that was pretty cool. That was really neat. But we all wiped, and that was all glory. But don't worry, it's all good. We're gonna get him the next time. I'm sure of it. Alright, so everybody's rezzed up. We're all ready to go. I do apologize in the chat box. Like I said, I try not to use it as much as possible. It's a neat little thing. It is, but it needs more work. It needs more improvement. It's based off of using off a PS3 controller, which is annoying as it is. I have actually started using. I did get an Xbox 360 wire controller, so all my videos I do actual live recording, I will be. You will not hear any clicking, and I also got a new mic. If you can't tell, hopefully you can tell, because I was using my headset they use for vent, and now the headset's a little old, but it's a Logitech, and it lasts. It lasts a lot. But all right, we're gonna be looking at the sludge thing. Let's go ahead and look this up. It's really hard to get a percentage based on his life since we don't really see an actual number. We just see a green bar, and I really wish there were numbers so we actually know. But he's right now at like 75%. I'm guessing. I'm horrible with math, so but whatever. But at 75%, he'll swell up with gas to grow bigger, and he will do more damage. He'll also do that at 50%. And we're just gonna keep knocking him down. 50%, he's going to run over there, and yep, he's going to grow bigger. There it is right there. He just grows bigger, and he just does more damage. The damage that he does more, you see it when he starts doing a little charge thing. Puts a little fist up in the air like a brawler does, and then just slams down. Anyone can always just move away from it. At 25%, you'll get this message where it says, get back, sludge thing will explode. When he explodes, he will summon 4 sludgelings. The 4 sludgelings will go down like cake, but sludge thing is still there, so the tank needs to make sure that he can somehow pick it up along with maybe doing an AoE thing and getting everything else. But other than that, sludge thing is a tank and spank. I haven't had any issues with it. This is a hard alert, so this is a normal version. There are medium versions, which the medium versions require tier 1 and a dominance of 200. Maybe that's just how my requirements for it, since I'm looking at it as a fire tank, but I really don't know. But Tiyomaru's talking like, "Oh, I can't believe you defeated my monster. He was the best in the world. I'm gonna go run away now." That's all he's saying. It's easy, but always make sure to grab your investigations and your briefings while in this place. But like I was talking about before, there's different wings to this thing. So every time you come in here, you're not going to get the same thing. So you might not actually get all 6 out of you get probably maybe 5 out of 6 of your investigations and 5 out of 6 of your briefings, and that's because the other wings weren't open for you. So you have to go run through this a second time and hope to God that you get different bosses so you can do it. But that's my little spiel on that. After you defeat Sludge Thing, we come back through the hallways and we have more trash. What really, it really makes me a little bit that we're still getting the little XP things, but XP is not going to it because we're all maxed at level 30. But now, if this was like a level 29 and we can just grind this, oh yeah, this will probably give you maybe 50% of experience to level 30, if not more. This place is still huge. Now, after Sludge Thing, you do your trash to the hallway, you come back to the control room, and you have to go through 5 more waves of security squads. Easy peasy. Just, okay, someone died, but other controller died, so, but it's easy. Everybody can res. You don't have to be the healers. Just run over there and hold the B button or hold the E button and just res them. Take care of all the trash. More trash, more trash. I might have to probably speed these up a little bit because I don't think it's going fast enough. But how's everyone doing? You know, just enjoying some DC. Just everybody resing it up a little bit. Now I actually do play a sorcerer. He was the first. My sorcerer was the first character that I made, and I dropped him because fire tanking was awesome, and I love my fire tanking. I am starting to record some stuff for EGADS. He is a gadget controller, which I'm looking at these gadget controller guys, and I'm like, man, these guys take some skill. Because I was playing on just an alt, and he had gadgets as well, and it was just, I wiped on a mini dungeon 3 times, and it was horrible. I felt bad. I felt like I just needed to work on it a little bit more. But after the 5 waves, guess what? Another chemoid. This one's uranium. This one just does some fire. Actually, does some toxic waste stuff, I guess. Where I think the first one was more or less was green, so maybe heated acid. This one should do fire damage stuff. I don't know. All right, next wing opened up, and we're heading straight into it. And what's in there? More trash. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just tired. This really is somewhat of a long instance, but because I found out as I was playing in this place that there were multiple wings, I'm like, well, just became my favorite place because I love wings. Not buffalo wings, but wings in the dungeon. They're really nice. It gives you more of an option. It's like guessing game. It's like, oh, what am I gonna get this time? As you're playing through this, of course, like any instance, be careful on what you pull. You don't want to pull everything. You want to just kind of grab a pack and then wait for a little bit, let your stuff regen, then pull the next one. This isn't like Lich King heroic. If for all those people who play WoW, you just can't go in there and just whoop and just let the regen handle by itself. I mean, there are times where you just need to stop and just like, all right, is everybody good? All right, now let's continue. Because you just don't want to be the person to cause a wipe. You don't. And it's like if the tank dies, it's like, oh well, I mean DPS could probably take care of it a little bit, but then the healer dies. It's like, who's gonna heal us? We're all dying. You see the ace technicians. They have a charged deadly attack as well that they just really just shoot a machine gun at you. And there's my briefing complete. There's 10 skill. There's 10 points right there that I'm really happy about. Because I actually ended up getting a bunch of skill points for this place. Because I like it. Alright. We are heading into our next boss. The dreaded clown Sanity. I read this in actually a PC Gamer, which was kind of cool. Because I was like, man, where is this guy at? Ace Chemicals. That's where he is. Tiyomaru's giving his little spiel about this is his greatest achievement. A freaking clown. Bane and Joker having a child. That's a joke. That is a joke. Alright, we got our healing barrel. We have a toxic barrel. We have explosive barrels all over the place. Do we use them? Well, we use these two, not the explosive barrels, I don't think. But there we go. Let's start this sucker. Alright, get my inflame. Oh, I knocked him in the air. Hold on. Let's do this. Flashpoint. There we go. Alright, and just start whipping them. And Inferno, just in case it's the place with fire, just to do a little bit more extra dot damage. And since I use, when I actually use Stoke Flames, there's another flashpoint. When I use Stoke Flames, when I have Inflame and Inferno going, it just increases the health portion of what I get healed more, which is kind of neat. So there's actually some mythology to what I use. Alright, but at 50%, he will grab a random party just like he did and start twisting all about. Just starts going at it. Whether that person does, the person that he grabs takes damage, I really not sure. I saw his health pool drop a little bit, but because I have a sorcerer or healer, he was getting healed. We're all kind of like healing pretty well. We're all not dangerously low, like, oh my god, we're gonna die. No, our healer was amazing. A great guy. Jeffy, that's his name. Jeffy. Great guy. He also does this little mean roar thing, but as you see, he's dead. He is a tank and spank. It was simple. Because I went in there without knowing anything, and we did fine. We didn't die. But a lot of gear is apparently dropping for healers and controllers. I have no tanking gear dropping for me. Well, I did get a new bow, and that bow is kind of fly. It's a steampunk bow. I like the style of it. There we go. Look at there. 25 points. I got something. I don't know. I hardly pay attention to my feats. But after we handle Clown Sandy, guess what? More trash. Oh, this place is just full of trash. I feel like this place needs to be like there needs to be a normal alert, and people can just grind out this place for XP and just call it a day. Now, I did actually see a video where a guy was in, I believe, Gorilla Island and just shooting barrels for experience. That's all he was doing. He was level 14. I think he got maybe up to 15 or something. He was just grinding experience like that. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go with everybody else. That's an exploit. That stuff is not supposed to happen like that. And, I mean, whether or not SOE fixes that, I don't know. Will they? Maybe. I don't work for them. I really don't know how they think, and I don't want to know how they think because they're probably pervs. But we're all pervs in heart, aren't we, kids? Aren't we? But I mean, just standing there for hours on end, just shooting barrels, that's no way to play the game. I don't care if you're trying to grind experience or not. You can't get gear from shooting barrels. Alright, but we're looking at the last boss. 3 bosses here. You got 2 sub-bosses, and then Chemo is our last. Chemo has a neat little thing, and I just wasted the hell out of that barrel, didn't I? Alright, when you engage Chemo will not be targeted. You'll have these little Kimlings, which are little adorable things, which I just want to take home and just kill. So, you're going to have to run around. I would position people. We did not position, by the way. But position people accordingly where DPS gets a section here and there where to defeat or destroy these Kimlings. The Kimlings are just going to run around and just grab barrels. You see over here in your quest log, it has Flame, Cryo, and Slime barrels. And then the Kimlings eliminated. Once 25 Kimlings are eliminated, Chemo becomes vulnerable or active, and you just start whipping his tail. The barrels, when Chemo actually absorbs the barrels, he will actually summon the Kimlings in that type of whichever has been absorbed more. So if you actually put flame barrels up there absorbed, he absorbs all 10 of them. He will actually make fire Kimlings that if you get close enough to them, they will explode and knock you down. Or actually knock you back as well. Cryo, they'll freeze you in place and all that stuff. The slime ones actually just do slime damage, which I think they're the same thing as the Kimlings that we have now, but that's my opinion. But you just want to rush through them. I don't know if there's a feat to actually have them where he doesn't absorb any barrels, but I don't think there is, but I haven't looked either. And I might even look at it just to update a little bit, but just go through and just kill. if you actually see one actually carrying a barrel, just go over there. I use Flashpoint just to knock them down. Thank God Flashpoint doesn't have a cooldown, because if it did, I'd be really mad. But while Chemo is not active and you have the Chem lanes, he will just start going in circles and just throwing up on everything, which is kind of gross. But yeah, he's vulnerable now. Let's go back and kick his butt. Oh, like I said, I do on my bar down here, you will see that I have Inflame, Flashpoint, Inferno, Reignition, Stoke Flame, and Fiery Weapon. Fiery Weapon, if I have Inflame, Inferno, or Immolation, I get more healing done from Fiery Weapon. So I actually, my last 3 are actually all healing spells, which I'm going to try out a new spec, and that will actually eliminate 2 healing. Actually, no, yeah, it'll actually eliminate 2 of them, and so I can actually try and maximize my health a little bit more. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, this game specifically, because we haven't figured out what spec is the best in game, everybody's just playing what they feel is right. And how I have my stuff, I feel it's right. I think that I need to work more on my health pool. So I think I just might respec my weapons just so I can try and. I'll probably do a little bit more with my defense and toughness, and also my healing crit, because I heal myself, so I want to make sure I get those big heals. But I just want to have a larger health pool, and I also have to get the gear, which that's becoming a pain in the butt too, because I can't do a duo without a healer. That I thought was the toughest time I've ever played the game. It was me, a fire tank, and an ice DPS. We wiped on the first boss in the duo Hive base like 5 times. Finally got him down by pure luck, and then we went on to fight Booster Gold, and that was just horrible too. But yay, we also finished this thing in less than 30 minutes, quick and dirty. That was pretty cool. I did not expect that, but oh, here we are looking at the loot. This is the bow that I actually got. The Valiant Bow of the 10. That's the other 10. I thought there was more. My bad. But yeah, I took that bow. That bow is awesome. It just looks pretty. I would think I did a video for it, but I'm not really sure. But this is Ace Chemicals. This was, and Batman's here. Huh? Yeah, big fun. Big fun from some guy. It's in the chat box. Read it. It's cool because there's a chat box. I mean, I have fun. Ace Chemicals is one of my favorite places to go. I do it every day. Each boss drops, I actually believe they drop 1 Mark of Triumph, and then the last boss drops 2. So this is where you actually get your Marks of Triumph. Your Marks of Allegiance comes from little challenges and little questings and everything. It's like Toyman's Quest, which I might do a video for those just because Toyman's funny. But yeah, here's Batman. You talk to Batman beforehand, and then you can just leave the place. But thank you all so much for paying attention to this video, and I will see you guys next time.